friends, and welcome to the Mom Stuff Coffee Shop. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a subject that was very near and dear to me, and that is teaching your child to read. I will have the book, you will see the book pop up in a minute. This book has really been the foundation of so much for my life and my life for my children. A little bit about me. And on this channel, you'll learn about motherhood, entrepreneurship, resources, things that will help you in your journey of motherhood. A little bit about me. We have four children. I'm married. At one point, I was a single mom. I was actually a struggling single mom. And then I met my husband. He had a child. I had a child. They both were boys at the time. And now they're grown men. They were both 6 years old. And now they are well over 25. We got married and had two more children. We have girls. The important thing that I learned about being a mom pertaining to your children is teaching them the foundations of learning. That is so important. And I found this great book at Haslam's bookstore back in the day when you would go to a bookstore and you would just love going through books, and I still do. I love going to bookstores, Barnes and Nobles, Haslam's. We have a dollar bookstore in our local mall here. But what I enjoyed most is seeing the trajectory of my children when I made education important. This book is phenomenal. This book will change the way you look at education, the way you look at life. And the reason why you want to teach your children to read at an early age, for me, before they go to kindergarten, is because it creates a strong foundation. Number one, a strong foundation. The foundation that you set today is going to be your springboard for tomorrow. And I know a lot of times mothers are working, mothers don't have time for themselves. They don't have time for a lot of things, but I will tell you, making time for teaching your child to read is going to not only bless your life, but it's going to bless them abundantly. The second thing is that it makes learning enjoyable. I remember when one of my daughters, I taught her how to read at a very early age, at 3 years old. And I can remember her going to school, and the first thing, she went to a school that was a fundamental school, and they prided themselves on reading. Reading was their foundation. And I didn't know at the time that they would have so much reading, but I taught her how to read at a very early age. And when she would read, she would get stronger and stronger and stronger. And she would be reading like 200-page books in second grade, and by the time she was in fifth grade, she was reading trilogies, 900-page books and series and everything. And when I was young, I didn't have a strong foundation for reading. My dad raised me. He had dyslexia. My dad had a reading disorder where the words seem like they're mixed around. But he did instill in me a strong value for education. But my dad couldn't teach me how to read. So it was such a blessing when I learned myself what a strong foundation it was to teach your children how to read. My daughter excelled because of the foundation of reading. Now, every child is different. I have another child that she's creative, she's very hands-on, she's very athletic. Uh, I also taught her how to read, but at a later age. She was 4 years old. But both girls went to kindergarten knowing how to read, and their test scores were phenomenal. They did very well in reading. And so that's what I want to tell you. It is so important to create that foundation of reading for your child. And the next thing I want to say is it creates a lifetime of success. When I was young, like I said, I didn't have a strong foundation for reading it, but as I became older and became a more conscious parent for reading, I began to read myself, and I began to read so many books. And in the last decade, I have probably read, I don't know, 100 books. I don't know. Um, but I love to read, and I love to establish times with my children where we're just exhaling, we're reading. We are the last two that are at home. We could be just having a girls' day, and we could just be everybody's reading something different. Everybody has their snack, everybody's reading, everybody excelling, everybody's growing. So the results were very, very effective for my children in reading. It creates a consistent pattern of learning. So the foundation of learning anything is reading. So let's just say you have to execute math problems. You have to know how to read them. Let's just say you have an English assignment. You have to know how to read. Let's just say you have a science anatomy issue. You have to know how to read. And reading is not only reading, it is comprehending. And that's why I love this book. Now, as you can see, this book is on Amazon, and it was $165, and I think with tax. But you could search around in your local bookstores. You can find a book similar to this, but it's going to teach the child how to read phonetically. Back in my day, when I was born, we read by phonics. And a lot of times they don't teach phonics anymore. But phonetically, from a structure of phonetics, teaching your child how to read. In fact, this book, I had to go and relearn different things that I was taught. It is a total different change from how we were taught. And you have to have time consistently. So it's 100 easy lessons. So you're going to have to grab some time every day to teach the child how to read. Sit there, but you will be so surprised with these results. You will be blown away by the results. Not only does this book teach you how to read, but it teaches you comprehension. Now, when your child grasps the concepts of reading, I would encourage you to keep them reading. Don't stop here. Get them books, go to the store every weekend, and instead of treating them to something that really doesn't matter, treat them to a book. Teach them how to read. Create a life of loving, a life of learning, a life of cultivating that in them. So I can remember we were at IKEA one time and we were waiting for my husband to come through. We had purchased some big items like some mirrors and things, and I'm also a business owner. And my daughter and I were sitting there reading, and we were reading. I had my book, she had her book, and a lady walked over to me and she was like, wow, I can't get my kids to do that. They always want to be on their phone. Well, let me tell you this. You have the power as the parent. Hopefully some men are also watching. This is just not for moms, this is for parents. You have the power. You have the power to execute the life that you would like to see in the future. And it starts for me with faith, with godliness. And the very next thing is education. And I just want to come on here and tell you how important it is as a parent to instill a lifetime of success by creating the foundation, the strong foundation of a love for reading. So I hope this has helped you, and I hope that you purchase this book. And if you don't have this book, if you can't access this book, there are also ones similar that I found online on Amazon. They have 100 easy lessons to teach your child how to read. And I'll be bringing you more resources. I'll be bringing you more tools for your success as a parent, as a mom, as a woman, as a father. And this is the Mom Stuff Coffee Shop. Thank you for watching. Until next time.